sends me to the beat. Without no regret, you got no love. Without no love, you got no regret. Without no regret, you got no love. A melody where I belong in this life.
Welcome to T-Boys TV. Big up everyone that's waiting backstage. Hope you're well. Obviously, the news has come out today, which we'll get into, which is the first thing we're going to discuss, as it's obviously not really breaking news, but today's news. Obviously, we'll get into the Blackpool game, and then obviously we'll talk about Stoke. Obviously, episode 69. Woohoo! Yep, everyone's going to clip that, laugh, there's a number and all that. But yeah, man, obviously I'm here with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, not too bad. I've got her, I think because we're sitting in the car for so long on Saturday, I've got a trapped nerve in like my back and that. It's been caning me like all yesterday. It's hurting today, but I'll get over it. I'll get over it.
Yeah. So if he does pull some weird faces, then that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's that. Blue Terrier, big up yourself. Says no Tyler, no party. Yeah, apologies about that. I'll be honest, I haven't even had the motivation, because I've been so gutted about this news. I'll be honest, I haven't had the motivation to even do League Cup predictions. I was meant to do them before, but it's proper gutting, man. Big up Kieran, obviously Luton fan. Good to see you in the chat, mate. He says he's off. Yeah, it's pretty much done. We'll get into it. And obviously Late Boys TV as a joke, says Shay. But yeah, obviously let's get into it. So obviously the first thing we're going to talk about, like I said, Nathan Jones to Southampton, he's done. He's pretty much done. Obviously, the news come out. The way I originally found out is obviously I've done a stream reacting to the Champions League. Obviously, Liverpool's my other team that I follow. And Stephen, obviously regular on the channel, come in and said Nathan Jones is a heavy favourite. So I had a little look at it and, I saw that he was up there. A lot more than he was at Brighton, for example. When Brighton were looking for a new manager, he's still floating up there, but he wasn't the number one priority. And then obviously you told me, Dad, you obviously messaged me and told me. Obviously I was like, no, like, and then obviously I went on Sky Sports, and when they mostly go on about it, it's bound to happen. It's just a matter of time. Obviously Luton, let him speak. About it. He's come out today, or no, not he's come out, sorry, but come out today from Luton that obviously we will be playing the game with him in charge. I do tomorrow, and then obviously that's most likely, then they're going to let him talk. But for me, I think he's most likely, unfortunately, gone in that sense. But yeah, man, Dad, talk to me what you was like when you found out this, and yeah, man.
I could see the pattern emerging because, I remember it when he went to Stoke, or obviously slightly different circumstances. They tapped him up. He done it a bit, backhandedly. That time, this time, obviously, he hasn't gone like that. It's a big offer for him. I think it's going to be hard for him to turn it down. Southampton fans ain't overly excited about it, but they're not the ones making the decision. Obviously, he's highly rated. You know what I mean? We'll be gutted to see if he can go. But there is still a slight chance that it might not happen, right? The QPR manager, I think he had talks with Wolves, and then he turned it down. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he had talks with them. But he was only at QPR for a few months or whatever. He'll still be thinking about it. It's not nailed on that it'll go. But and it's not necessarily about the money. He's already made his money from that time he was at Stoke.
Exactly.
It's more the ambition, really. I mean, it is hard for him to turn it down, but I'm going to take it that he's going to be going. A lot of people are moaning, saying, he should have just gone, don't bother having him for the game tomorrow, and etc. etc. But just put it in context. He hasn't actually, they might not agree to it. Who knows? But obviously they've done their research, and they wouldn't be approaching him, and they wouldn't contact the club, would they? So let's have it right. He's going to be talking to him, and the chances are that he's going to take that opportunity. I don't begrudge him that. People are only saying it because of the Stoke thing, really. But
Exactly.
with a good manager like that, it's going to be expected, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people saying, "Oh, it won't work out there." I've seen fans from Stoke saying, he done nothing. He can't handle big egos. But Stoke's, are they doing better without him? No, I don't think so.
Exactly.
If you give him time, and the players have been, have to buy into what the club want, and they're going to give him the time, and I think they will give him the time, then he'll end up doing all right there, in my opinion. It is what it is. This time, he does leave us in a better position than last time. We're an established championship club. Fed up of it. Now you're just hearing all this, they're punching above their weight, all this crap. Do you know what I mean? Because it's basically down to the size of the stadium. That's all it is. Where we've been over the last few years, but there's plenty of other teams that got promoted to the Premier League who are less of a club than us, in my opinion. Wigan, Swansea, even Brentford to a certain extent. Do you know what I mean? They went right. They got a bigger stadium, and now no one's saying, they're punching above their weight. Being it's just bollocks, really. But yeah, he's it is sad, but it is what it is. The club comes first. That's what you've got to think about. You've got to trust the club in recruiting the next decent manager. Obviously they made a mistake with Graham Jones. Let's be honest. Everyone knows that. Yeah, he's a good coach. He's obviously well respected in the game. He's still at Newcastle, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
He was involved in the England setup. He's obviously a good coach, but he wasn't the right fit for us, clearly. When we know that from the interviews, he was, he was coming out of absolute nonsense, just moaning about budget constantly. I know Nathan Jones has mentioned that, but in them games we've put up a fight, etc. And if we have lost, it's narrowly to certain, because they have got that budget and that, but he would do it virtually every game. And when we played Forest, he said, look, these are former European champions and all this crap, you know what I mean?
Without one player, which was Izzy Brown, we're not winning games. It's ridiculousness.
Absolute nonsense, you know what I mean? So, we'll be looking already, obviously, within the club, they'll know exactly what's going on, really. The chances of him going there, the players will know that. It'll be interesting to see. You'll be able to tell tomorrow. I don't buy this, so he's just staying for the ego. It was a decision made by the club. And if he does go, it's not, he does deserve that chance to say goodbye to the fans, and most fans will accept it for what it is. And you have to accept it for what it is. At the end of the day, the foundations are still there for us. We were the ones who found Nathan Jones in the first place, right? We were the ones that give him that second chance, So he's always going to have respect for us no matter what. The main issue for me is whether he takes the backroom staff with him.
Yeah.
Not, which is going to be an interesting one. All we can do is just ride it out and wait and see what happens. It is disappointing, but I can see the signs were there. Like, if someone's that odds-on favourite, and now, he's very, very. He's just there. It's basically, the odds are just ridiculous. There's no point in anyone else. He's obviously going to come across well in his interview. You know how thorough he is. They want him anyway. That's the main thing. He's their number one target. He's not a backup. He's not like, you know, it's down to him whether he wants to continue at Luton. But it's clear that he wants to talk to them. That's the thing.
Exactly.
And they're going to offer him what he wants. I can see it for 5-year contract. Bring whoever you want with your staff wise, budget wise. Yeah, you know, we are going to be looking to work on a tight budget, which I believe they are. But another reason why they're going for him is because they know that he can get the best out of players at a smaller budget, and their smaller budget will still be bigger than probably our bigger budget. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's quite capable of doing it. I can see why they're going. It was inevitable, really. And we all said before, he'll only leave for a Premiership club.
Exactly.
And this is, you know, it just fits in. It just fits. There's nothing we could do about it. We move on. No one's bigger than the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've still got positive. We've got good owners. We're still going to get the stadium done. It's just about the right recruitment. The players are all still there. You know, they still know their jobs, etc. They're still, you know, it's going to hurt some of them, but some of them have already experienced it before, and they've still gone on there and done the job. When he left us before, it was in January, and we still went on and won the league with Big Mick. You know, you just got to deal with it. That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%.
Get the comments in and let's see.
Yeah, man. I was going to click on this comment by Kieran, and it links. You know, you said that to me earlier on the phone.
Yeah,
he said we should get lots of money from it because of his contract, which is facts. Because you know, when he's extended it to what he did extend it to, you know, you're going to have to be paying.
At minimum, they're going to have to buy out his contract at the minimum. But you know, they'll probably give us a goodwill gesture, and maybe we can get a few. We'll get a few mil for it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, and we could either use that to invest in the club or players in January, or invest in the highest profile manager we can get, as long as they fit the bill. You know,
exactly.
This is the thing. Like before, when we was in League One, was floating around, there were certain managers wouldn't have touched us with a barge pole, right? But this time, you know, the structure's in place. Yeah, we just got to get someone of that caliber, and there's plenty of coming through that want that opportunity and see that opportunity. If we win tomorrow night, we'll be like potentially in the playoffs. It's a you know what I'm saying? So it's all gonna it'll work out for us. It'll work out for us. Trust the process. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is even. Who knows what'll happen? He might turn around and go, no, but I can't see it because of the way. I don't know, because the the QPR one, they approached him the day after they played during the week. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting.
I'd say that he's going to go. It fits for me.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, I just think, you know, it sort of links to what Blue Terrier said here. You know, doubt Luton would have said anything if he wasn't interested and hadn't agreed terms. Now, might not necessarily part agreed terms.
No, I don't think so.
I just think Luton had come out and said they'd let him speak. You know, which obviously
he wants to speak to them. Yeah,
exactly. And you can't, like you said, you can't not let that happen. You know, at the end of the day, they're an established Premier League club. Yeah, they're in the battle, but you know they've been in the Premier League for X amount of years now. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. And other teams will add him on their shortlists as well. Maybe not as high up, but they add him on the shortlists. You know, Bournemouth, apparently, Cardiff, Brighton.
I was going to say Brighton's the main one out of them lot, isn't it?
You know, if they can give him what he wants and on his terms, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to be going in there asking for a certain amount of money. Whatever they offer him is probably going to be triple, quadruple what he's getting now. Not that he needs the money, but still, you know, it makes sense in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, you know, a lot of people, are they going to go down anyway? This, that, and the other. I don't think so. I think he will turn it around. And they'll give him the time to turn it around. Even if they do get relegated, they will not sack him. And there'll be there'll be odds on to get promoted straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, definitely. In that aspect, you could say it could be similar to Burnley this year.
You're getting all the fans who didn't like him but were happy to watch us winning and get him in the playoffs, but still slagging him off, jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, whatever I do this, you know, this, that, and the other. I'll get a grip. If he was a shit manager, he wouldn't be bothered. So
exactly, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. If he's, I saw a lot of heat on him on Instagram comments, and I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, if you're slating him this much, then
if you was in a job and someone offered you a better job for quadruple the money, what are you gonna say? You're gonna do it, ain't you?
Exactly.
It's the size of the club, you know. Do you know what I mean?
You've got to look at it like you do, you know, and obviously I do, and a lot of people in here will. You've got to look at it from the other side as well. You know, take away your Luton bias. You've got to look at it properly.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's decided to go up.
He's affiliated with the club. He's got a lot of love for the club. Let's not deny that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you can't deny that. If it wasn't for us, he wouldn't even be in this position yet to be offered that job. And he's not stupid. He knows that, and most people will know that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's just my camera keeps turning on and turning off again. I don't know what it's doing, but yeah, the joys, eh? Let's go through some other comments while I try to sort this out. Blue Terrier, interesting. Obviously, Huddersfield fan. He says we interviewed Graham Jones for us, but went with the one obviously they got now.
Yeah, well, that is interesting. I mean, that just shows you that, you know, I don't think Graham Jones, if he wants to be, you know, a club manager, then he needs to have that mentality. I don't know if he's too. I don't know what it is with him.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
We made a faux pas with that hiring of him. You know, it didn't work out. Lucky for us.
Yeah, exactly.
And sort this out.
Yeah. Big up Jackie. She says, hi, Ty and Daz. I'll be gutted if he goes. Yeah, 100%. 100%, man. Big up Hanno as well. He says, hi, T and Tyler's dad. Big up yourself. Terry says, great words from Daz. There you go, Dad.
Big up, mate. Got it. It is, isn't it?
What's that? Sorry.
It is what it is. You know what?
Yeah.
The structure's still there. That's you know, it's down to that, and that's still in place. I don't think he will take all the staff with him personally. I just don't think he will. But you know, there's rumours flying around of whom he might be wanting to talk to, and maybe we can get into that a little bit, but not take that too much.
Yeah, exactly. I you know, a lot of people ask me. I said maybe wait till there's more odds on the managers, because then you have more of an understanding.
Yeah, but normally, you know, people were saying this was, you know, David James was really odds on at one point before we appointed Nathan Jones to be the Luton manager, you know, and sometimes it happens like that, but this is different because, you know, it's all over the news. We've gave the permission, etc., etc. It's just down to whether he thinks it's a good fit, because for him, he's still going to be thinking of, you know, obviously he wanted to take Luton to the Premier League, right? And it is bad timing. That's what I'm saying. Oh, the timing of it's out of order and that. But it's not Nathan Jones' fault, is it?
It's not, no.
You know what I mean? He hasn't applied for the Southampton job. They've come to us because they want him.
Exactly.
You know, they headhunted him. Well, you know, it is what it is. Just get over it. It's not, that club ain't going to suddenly slip down the table and get relegated. But the squad's too good too. The squad's not just going to give up just because Nathan Jones is not there. Yes, it'll be different, but they've still got that mentality. There's still
Exactly. Yeah.
there's still staff at that club who've got that mentality. That part of why Nathan Jones was recruited, because the club have recruited in that way. They want someone who believe in how to achieve things, and that ain't going to go away. Obviously not going to get the same manager as Nathan Jones, but there's people of that ilk. Look at the other clubs recruit managers of that ilk, i.e. Graham Potter. When he went to Brighton, Brendan Rodgers was like that when he first started, and look at him now. So there's plenty. Look, the QPR manager, he was Stephen Gerrard's assistant at Rangers, was highly rated. Went to Aston Villa as his assistant. Look, he's doing well. He's doing all right with QPR, but he hasn't had a full transfer window or anything yet. But he's got that team playing. He's a knowledgeable guy, and there's coaches out there like that. There's a lot more. We're not going to recruit a dinosaur. Yeah, we won't be doing that.
No, won't be risking that again. No way.
They'd already had a list. They already had a backup plan.
Yeah. You said this to me even way before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll always have a backup plan depending on who's available, etc. I mean, if Cooper had got sacked from Forest and he wasn't in a job, I'd take him straight away. If he would have come to us, I don't see why he wouldn't have. But but he's been offered a 5-year contract to Forest. He ain't going anywhere at the moment. So that ain't gonna happen. But there's a few out there potentially would get. There's also when Nathan Jones did go, we obviously kept Mick in at the time, because we went on and we because of what Stoke had done.
I think there's a ghost in more in the bag just fell on the floor.
Because of what Stoke done, approached him like without contacting the club or whatever. We then said, and we won't go and poach a manager halfway through the season. So if we're going to adhere to that again, people have been talking about the Plymouth manager and a couple of other guys. We're not going to obviously going to go and do that, are we? Unless we agree terms with someone and then take them at the end of the season. But I can't see us doing that. We're more likely to go for someone who's currently not working.
Yeah, I got asked that question. I went live on Instagram and people say, I think it was Stephen actually, big up to him. He said, do you reckon we'll get someone? It might not have been, but someone definitely asked me, do you reckon we'll get someone who's in a job right now or someone who's not? And I said, most likely someone that's not.
Definitely. Also, this all depends on what happens, because after the game tomorrow, it'll be Wednesday. It'll be all decided then, pretty much. If he's going to Southampton, we'll know by Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the club will move quick, decide if he's going to take Chris Cohen with him or Sheehan or whoever else is there. He's done it before. He took a few people to Stoke. It all depends on that. He might not this time. That's the thing. But I find it. There's been no pre-match preview
to the game.
The game tomorrow, is there?
No,
at all. Not even Cohen's done it, which I thought might happen. I feel it's just a PR thing, isn't it? Because whoever they're going to ask, whoever. Nathan Jones ain't obviously going to do it because that's just too much. Are you going to go south? You can't ask him them questions. Cohen, mate, they've just kept it behind closed doors. Maybe something could come out tomorrow. They'll do a preview, but it won't be Nathan Jones doing it. It might not even be Cohen doing it. It might even be like Paul Hart or someone else doing it. Completely. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It shows that the club, Cleat left us back in the day. Just, it's just, it's just a lot to take in. Where you think, would you take him back again if he got sacked from Southampton in a year's time? It's a difficult one because
Is
he works well with the club, but then how many times do you keep?
do you keep
You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
by we might have a manager who does well. The only reason he come back last time as well was A, because he was out of work, and B, because Graham Jones was diabolical for us. Just not the right fit. Just didn't rate any of our players. Who you know, Cornet, you were talking about Cornet, talking about Pellet,
James Bree.
talking about the players that he brought in.
James Bree was one of them as well.
Yeah, you know, so and you know, and everyone's like, oh yeah, Nathan Jones, he recruits all these players and da da da. It's not just down to him. We've got a big recruitment team anyway, right? Mm-hmm. They should be getting that. Mick Harford, we should be getting that credit. You know, that ain't gonna stop. That ain't gonna stop. Yeah. He was just good at developing them. But you know, the structure's there. People are still gonna take their ideas of what he was like and how the club is in general. That's still gonna be there. That's not gonna change. Whoever comes in will have to, obviously they'll have their own ideas to a certain extent and etc. But the foundations will have to adhere to that. Same as that's why Southampton want Nathan Jones in the first place, because they want to bring. They obviously depend financially not competing with it, and they know that he's capable of doing that on a low budget. That's another reason why they want it. So that's what we'll be looking for. So let's just deal with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's go through some more comments. Terry also says Dyche or Wilder could be interested. We're 8th in league, a lot stronger than when Graham Jones joined. And exactly, with that end bit,
much stronger, completely different.
Yeah, it links into what you said earlier, which is what I'm going to say. I was going to say, sorry. Dyche or Wilder, what do you think about
that? Wilder, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about him. I think we'd probably be more looking at someone younger, someone a bit more. You know what I mean? I just don't think he fits. Dyche, yeah, he's a good manager. With Burnley for 10 years, don't got him in the Premier League or whatever. I established him in there. A lot of people say his football was crap and all that, but playing to their strengths. We didn't think he should have got sacked when he got sacked. If it was out of them, I'd rather have Dyche.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But I don't think it'll be any of them.
What is going on with this camera?
Seriously. Plug it back in again, mate.
I have.
Or plug it in a different USB.
It's the only USB it works in. Annoyingly, I'm not using my other camera. That is shocking. Yeah. All right. There we go. How long is that going to last? But yeah, no, I agree with you. In that. The Blue Terrier. Yeah, I've seen he's put this. I think you should go for Neil Critchley, obviously former Blackpool manager. What do you make of that one?
Is he out of a job at the moment?
I believe yes, he still is. I believe so.
I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you. It's hard because there's so many, it's just hard to get your head around, do you know what I mean? We don't want to be randomly going for any fucker, do you know what I mean? We've got to learn from that, what we've done before. We obviously done some diligence on him, but obviously it was a bad choice, and they have done that before, in the conference days, but that's different then. I'm not really counting. Then they got John Steele in, and look what happened. Do you know what I mean? He needs to be given a lot of credit because he was actually the start of the foundation. Let's be honest. Thanks. Maybe we should get him back. No, jokes. They've got we've got a lot more choice than we would have had before.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got to give it a lot of thought and not just go for someone who's done all right at Blackpool, didn't he? Did he get him up or whatever? And then
Yeah, from League One, yeah.
But then they sacked him or whatever. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, Deitch, yeah, he did play, I think, years ago or whatever. But he also managed Watford as well. So,
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading other comments. Big up everyone inside, like always.
And the thing is, as well, like he'll be used to a lot of money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, this kind of boils down to how much compensation we got, and we can just use that money to get someone in on a 4-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know how much. You know, maybe it'll come out because they have to pay us compensation. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So they have to pay his contract off and give us compensation, but that'll be agreed between the clubs. We could probably demand quite a lot, but then they ain't got a lot of money. But still, you know, maybe they'll go, right, we'll give you 10 million. I don't know. We'll get a decent amount. Probably more than any player we've sold over the last couple of years.
I was going to say, yeah. I agree. Hello. It does, mate. It proper does. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been gutted most of the day. But, you know, when you look at, you know, the bigger picture, you know, in that sense, you know, like Dad said, no one is bigger than the club, you know, and you're not going to turn that down, you know, at the end of the day. Premier League established club, like we said, you know, and
I mean, the game tomorrow is going to be.
Yeah, Jackie asked a question about that actually. Let me try to find it. I don't want to skip through comments, but there it is. Yeah, she said, "Do you think it will affect our game tomorrow?"
Yeah, 100% it will.
I agree.
In what way? It could either go one or two ways. I think it's either going to deflate the players so much, or it's just going to be at last too hard. Let's do it for the manager. Let's do it for the fans. Let's do it for everything, and just go out there, and, you know. But for him, like, how are you thinking potentially the chance? He'll know the chances of you know what he's going to do. If they offer him the right terms, he'll know. He'll tell the players. They're obviously going to be asking him. He's not going to go, no, it's all right. I'll tell you tomorrow, or whatever. They'll know roughly what he's going to do. You'll be able to tell whether it's his last game or not.
Yeah.
Especially if we win. And at the end, you know, he comes over and he gets upset. You know, he's gone. He's gone. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's quite weird because of the Stoke. We're playing Stoke, the team that he went to. Before. They're going to be taking the piss out of us. They're going to be, you know, or taking the piss out of it. It's going to be a weird atmosphere, I'll tell you that. Do you know what I mean? We're sitting there saying Nathan Jones is barmy army. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So Nathan Jones is off to whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's you ain't going to have a manager in the morning or whatever. It's going to be a crazy one. Yeah, I think it's going to affect our game. It has to. You can almost kind of throw form out the window to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Even though I've took it into account a little bit, but you know, all these players that we've signed, that the club has signed, or he's signed, or you know, they're all signed as a group. You know, they're going to be thinking, well, what's going to go on with me? Like, it trickles down, doesn't it? We'll have to wait and see what's happened. I mean, what? Should we get Mark Hughes from Bradford? I just don't think we're going to go for what I call like you know, it sounds a bit disrespectful, but like a dinosaur manager. We're looking for fresh, different. You know what I mean? We want to. There have to be a touchline manager. We're not going to go for someone who's going to just be sitting in the stands or, you know, sitting there, arms folded.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a touchline manager, so you know you can whittle your list down. There's, you know, speculate. There's a few people that I would give a chance to potentially, and one I saw earlier who might be a good fit, but it will affect our game 100%. It'll affect everyone, the fans, everything. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
you know, there was a poll on the site earlier. It said, "Do you think what would you do if you were going to the game? You're going to boo him, you spit vile at him, you know, call him this, that, and the other. You're going to applaud him. You're going to whatever." And most people said they'd applaud him. You got to, you know what I mean? Like, stop crying about it. Like, get over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Shay says we get Stevie G with a laughing face. Imagine. Exactly. It links into what Dad said earlier, but yeah, we even said this way before. You know, I think we might have said it a few times on.
Said it before when Nathan left in the first place. All right, they got it wrong, but Graham Jones was on one of the candidates on the list. Also, Ryan Lowe was on the list, and look what he's doing. He's at Preston now. He's doing decent. He's a decent manager. We just didn't get, you know, there'll be shortlists, and Nathan Jones would have known that as well. You know, all clubs have it. Southampton clearly had it. You know, it's nothing new, but we do that. We're making sure we don't get put in certain positions again, and we'll have the backup, and no doubt about that. No doubt about that. But I've all, you know, there's rumours about apparently Nathan Jones is good friends with the director of football at Southampton.
I heard that earlier. Yeah, someone told me that.
And then someone else was saying that when I'm not sure. Brentford were after him at one point when he was our manager and he had an interview there. I don't remember that, but and they didn't like him because he was over the top or some nonsense. So I don't believe that, to be honest with you. But I might be wrong, but I don't remember him being interviewed. Or I remember him saying he was flattered to be, you know, one of the favourites for that job at the time, and they were obviously still in the Championship, I think. I'm not sure, or they might have just got promoted, but whatever. By the by,
yeah,
our boards. This is the thing. We're not, you know, we're not a slapdash club sacking the manager after a few defeats. You know, like, yeah. I mean, if Watford have got a list, it's probably, you know, longer than, you know, fucking supermarket sweep at Sainsbury's or something. You know what I mean? You know, we'll have our candidate, you know, people on there.
yeah,
And that will be ramped up now. You know, we would have contacted agents already.
yeah,
You know, saying if he goes, high chance he is going. Can we talk to so-and-so? Are you interested in his position? As soon as it's announced he's got, well, before he's got, he'll say his intentions.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm taking it as 98% chance that he's gone. Can't see what will, you know, it does happen. It happens with players. Terms weren't agreed, etc. But he's already rich enough. Do you know what I mean? I can't see. You know, if they go, oh, we only give you a 1 year deal. Do you think they're going to do that? No, they're not.
Exactly.
You know, that guy, their previous manager, he was there for 4 years. They lost 9-0 twice. They still kept him. So they're not going to be giving him some Mickey Mouse contract and saying we'll just see if you can keep us up, and if you can, then we'll take it from there. Because if they offered him in terms, he'd go, no, I'd rather start looting, mate. Right? So they're not going to do that. We know that they're going to give him what he wants. It's as simple as that. They're going to get their man. That's what happens. That's what happens when your situation. They're in the Premier League. We're not. They are an established club at that level and have been for quite a while. Yes, they went down to League One at some point, but you know the foundation was there for them to get back up. We're just still building, and he's helped build that. We're not going to stop building that just because he goes. That's all I'm going to say on that at the moment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hanno says need Daz at the wheel. That would be scenes, mate. Yeah, that is true. That is true, Brad. That is true, mate.
I mean, it's obvious. So, like, you know, the BBC and that, I mean, it's obvious. Yeah, maybe not straight after the game. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they're going to see him in person. You know, and unless he, you know, you know, it'll be the next day. But he's obviously, we know he's speaking to him anyway. It's not going to be like straight after the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be the next day, and that's it. And in terms of more likely to be agreed, and that'll be it. And the statement will come out. Yep. Joint. You know, they'll come. It'll be at the same time. Them saying they've hired him. We're saying he's gone. Usual stuff. The main thing for me, like I already said, is who is he going to take with him?
Yeah.
That's the main thing. The main thing. That's all. That's. But we'll deal with it, whatever happens.
Yeah. Big up Fletcher. He says, "Big up to the both of you. Big up yourself, mate." Blitz talking facts. In my opinion, he says, "If he goes, you can't really blame him. The wage difference will be ridiculous, and to be a Premier League manager is irresistible. Odds are 33-1 of him staying." So, I think that tells you alone that it's basically,
unless there's something, unless his wife don't want to go or something, he wouldn't have agreed to talk to him if he wasn't interested. So just forget it. Like, he's going. That's it.
Yeah. No, exactly. But yeah, anything else? Any final things you want to say about this before we move on to the Blackpool game?
Yeah. We will move on. We will all move on as a club, and we'll be fine. We've been through a lot worse.
True.
Don't forget, he's gone before, and we won't. I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but then everyone was like, "That's it. The wheels are going to come off." They didn't.
True. I'm in a better position this time, like you and a lot of others.
Yeah, it all depends who we get in as well. But now. I do think the chances of us making the playoffs has been rocked by that. But let's see who we get in, and the main thing is just to do well. Get the new manager, get him knowing the players, getting them through a transfer. Luckily, as well, we've got the World Cup break coming up. That's going to help us massively.
That's a massive benefit.
And don't be too gutted if we don't get promoted or get the playoffs this season, because the momentum has been knocked off balance.
Yeah, true. And absolutely, Jackie, absolutely, that'll totally disrupt us if he takes Sheehan.
Yeah, but again, like Sheehan wasn't there. He hasn't long been there, has he? Let's be honest.
No.
I don't even think he's been there a year, has he? I'm more concerned, Chris Cohen going, but it is what it is. You just got to take it in there. That's what normally happens, isn't it? They take their staff with them, or when a club sacks a manager, not all star. We'll have certain. I think Forbes will stay. I think the goalkeeping coach is always going to be staying there. It's just like the sports scientists who end up going. His number two, fitness coach, nutrition, whatever, them type of people that he relies on, that they've all recruited together. They're the people that he will want to take with him. And why wouldn't you? Because you don't even trust them people. But then you don't know them circumstances. They might not want to move away and things like that. So you're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't think they'll all go. And maybe it'll benefit us. Maybe we can loan some Southampton players.
Yeah.
Just every cloud has a silver, lining and all that. There'll be some out there who are glad that he's going. So football's 2-0. We do is lump it forward or and I don't forgive him anyway. All this nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Careful what you wish for, and that was that.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what it is.
Got him. But we have to move. And we will move on now. Obviously, on to the Blackpool game. Obviously, he was going to do a reaction, but it's too shattered and just loving it too much. Do you know what I mean? Dad, first ever away game together. Do you know what I mean? In the league, and we won the game, and it was a proper away day. Proper away day. The atmosphere brilliant, the performance, the players put in real good team effort. We won the game, and we were just very good away performance. I was buzzing all weekend. Sit after that game. But yeah, obviously we'll get into it. So obviously you travelled down to the seaside, or up to the seaside, should I say? Obviously we're not quite going down to Brighton. We're going up towards Blackpool, or up at Blackpool, should I say? And obviously the lineup was a different lineup. Obviously it was actually 4 at the back in this game. So obviously it's Bell left back, obviously Bree was the right back, and Lockyer and Potts. Lockyer obviously on the right side of that, and then Potts on the back. And then obviously there was 4 in midfield. I believe Luke Berry was the highest up out of the 4. So obviously you had Campbell, Ruddock, Berry and Clark. It'd have made sense to me, especially Campbell and Ruddock. They tend to play more behind, and obviously Clark has played behind sometimes more than that Cam sort of role. And then obviously it was Adebayo and Morris, 2 that we expected up front. What did you make of that lineup when you saw it? Obviously we was eating before kickoff, and what did you make of it?
Yeah, no, I was pleased with that lineup. Obviously I knew Pelly would start again. It's good to see Berry in there. It's good to see that that's the formation because of the injuries, etc. And yeah, it's strong up front. So yeah, I was pleased with it. We were down, we had 2 youngsters on the bench, but still, it was a strong lineup, and we knew that Berry and Ruddock would be, these 2 players that Graham Jones deemed not good enough to play in the Championship, would be competing and did compete. So I was pleased with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, we had to change it up. Obviously, the injuries we've got at the back, obviously suspensions as well. And yeah, man, I was happy to line up as well. So yeah, there's not really too much else I'm going to say about that. And then obviously going into the first half, did have some chances. Did have some chances. So did they. It was an interesting first half, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit end to end. You know what I mean? It was good. Obviously we had that injury to Potts.
Yeah.
Early on, didn't help. I had fans behind me saying, "Come on, just get up," and all that. And off, it's clear that he was hurt. Yeah, moaning about it. Yeah, that's all we need. Yeah, well, yeah, it is all we need. But it's tough, isn't it? Like, what do you want him to hobble along on one leg and try and finish out the game?
Exactly.
Done, mate. And we knew we had to shuffle it around. And then what happened after that, and that's that team spirit will not just disappear. Might be deflated for a bit, but it will not disappear. Done it before. I'm talking about it now because we have to, but it will not disappear. And look what happened. We were well in the game. I was still confident that we'd probably win the game. So yeah, I was pleased with the first half performance.
Yeah, you did.
Down.
You did feel something was going to happen at some point. That's how I felt, anyway. Obviously, we'll just fly straight into the second half, and obviously that's where we got the goal. Luke Berry, brilliant finish, right place, right time. Been like that. A lot of goals he scored in his Luton career. Obviously, Bree played the ball in. Adebayo headed it towards Berry. Then obviously tapped it. Well, I say tapped it, smashed it in the roof and the net.
Yeah.
And obviously, second half, the away days, I love going to the back. And obviously, unfortunately, we didn't quite see the goal together. Both saw it, but obviously didn't see it together. But then we went up and, yeah, proper class away day, especially with the atmosphere.
Yeah,
Brilliant. Go on.
Unbelievable. Like, it definitely helped.
You and Chris came up to the top. It is sick.
Yeah, and the fans won't change. That's the thing. Most fans will carry on supporting, carry on being like that. maybe even more so, because we love to come back from being setbacks, etc. But yeah, brilliant atmosphere in the second half, and just everyone just was playing, fighting, proper football game. And they had chances, we had chances. We could have scored again. We had enough time to score again. They had a couple of chances. They should have definitely have had one.
Close near the end of the game. Obviously, I thought that was in
2 or 3. Yeah, on another day, Morris would have buried their, Ruddock.
He done well.
Box, which he's still got a bit of rust, but in shooting, you could see it. He had a very good technique on that, and that could have been banged in the top corner, mate.
Oh, that was so close.
Bell had a strike, and it was blocked. But it was
in the first half, yeah. That was actually going in, I think. Definitely on target.
It was a proper decent, as we've done a lot this season, battling. Well, we had to battle more. I mean, in other away performances, it's been a bit more easy, smoother ride for us. But this we proper had to dig out this win, and we did. I know, just a brilliant team effort.
Yeah. We'll get into player ratings, and there's already going to be high ratings, and yeah, some of the performances, like I said, brilliant performance all round, but some people's performance alone, like the likes of Lockie, I was just absolutely ridiculous. It was just immense. Do you know what I mean?
Bodies on the line. That period of play where
Ethan made some really good saves again.
Cleared it off the line, all in the space of like 2 minutes. That was mental. Just brilliant. Absolutely fighting. I've seen other teams and they're just like, let that go, or they won't be fighting like that. And that ain't just down to Nathan Jones. That's down to them doing it for the fan. They've got that mentality. That ain't gonna disappear overnight. It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's just fly straight into the player ratings. Do you know what I mean? Let's go into them. Ethan, I'll say, made some wicked saves. Powerful shots. Got to him. I think he made like a double save at one point, if I can remember rightly. Brilliant performance from him. Brilliant performance from him yet again. Really good keeper on our hands this season. I'm going to give Ethan. I know my man of matches, so I'm just trying to think what am I going to give Ethan. I'm going to give Ethan 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going to give him 8.5 as well. Like, it's not just them saves he made, like just being there reassured, you know what I mean? They weren't fumbling the ball or anything like that. He was just, collecting it, not panicking, and done what he had to do in that, and when he had to step up, he stepped up. And this is what I'm saying. He's part of that team properly now. Hopefully, whoever comes in, if he's still happy there or whatever, because it depends what happens now, doesn't it? Whether we should be looking at keeping him 100%. And he just comes across as a nice guy as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, he deserves it, and I think he's loving it at the moment. 8.5.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I could tell he loved at the end. Obviously, us chanting all at the end, or every fan. The thing they put up on YouTube was sick. Shout out Don, I saw him and others going mental. That was sick to see. But yeah, no, that was he was loving it. When we're going USA, you can see him smiling and he was proper loving
it. Even
it.
when he was just catching the ball and that, it just gives him that.
Bringing it down, making sure he's got it.
He wants to be at a club that respects him, and I think he's found it.
Yeah, exactly. People's ratings, Jackie's gone 8.5, same as us, and then Terry's gone with 8, which is fair enough as well. Moving on to the next player, we will go over to Bree. Did you make of his performance, James Bree?
Yeah, again, obviously it's not his kind of normal position, you know what I mean, but he was still decent. looking to go forward, like, positioning, everything was really good, hungry. I'll give him a 8.5 as well.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. 8.5 as well. For James Bree, for me, literally echo the same reasons. Do you know what I mean? And like I've said, if I had the choice out of him or Bell on either side to play as that centre back sort of role instead of the wing backs, I'd rather Bree for me, because I just feel Bell. Obviously, Bree brings a lot of attacking, but I just feel Bell, brings that that cutting edge, if you get what I mean, and
He's
trying to go at them more. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Everyone said Bree 8 in the chat as well. Everyone's gone with the 8. That's voted. Big up everyone that's inside here doing this as well. Move on to Bell on obviously the other side. Again, really good performance from him, I felt. Putting a really good shift yet again. There was a couple of times in the first half he was getting past their players and doing well. Obviously, he had that shot as well, which I believe was going on target. So yeah, man. Good performance from him. Yet again, I'm going to go with another 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. Immense performance. Again, he had to, don't forget, these players had to switch. He had to come into the middle as well. And was just immense. Like, fighting for the cause as well. That's what you got to admire. You know what I mean? It weren't just the standard, I'm just going to get for. He had to dig deep. They all had to dig deep. And they all did. For me, he was decent enough considering, he had to be moved around, etc. 8.5.
Yeah, exactly. Jackie's gone 8, Terry's gone 8, and Lewis has gone 8.5. There you go. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Potts. Obviously, Potts is a bit of a difficult one because obviously he had to come off. It's one of them where I don't want to be biased, not like I am anyway, and rate him too high. Obviously, he did have to come off. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it maybe seemed at the time. The injury, of course. What are you thinking?
I'm 7, mate. I think other than that, he was still all right. Do you know what I mean? He didn't concede a goal. Part of the reason why he got injured was because he was, trying to get to the ball to clear it or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
He was the captain. I'll give him a 7. I'm not even. Give him an.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. Actually, yeah. People in the chat have said 7 as well. I was thinking 6.5 or 7. So yeah, I'll go for 7. Moving on to
who was the captain after? Because I didn't really clock.
Yeah. If anyone was watching on iFollow or you noticed that at the game, let us know. Let us know.
No Potts, no Naismith, obviously, because he was captain at some points last season. Who was it? Was it Lockyer?
Tom Lockyer. Yeah, Fletcher, I don't believe he went to the game, but he said Tom Lockyer was. And we were saying that on the car on the way back, he potentially was.
Well, he'll be the captain tomorrow then.
Yeah, exactly. Potts was captain. Yeah, and then Lockyer got given it. Okay, yeah, fair enough, because we obviously didn't quite see that. And then just quickly, I'm going to answer this question by Shay. Obviously, I'll let you have your thoughts on it as well, Dad. He says, T, can I ask if Nathan Jones leaves, do you think he'll try and sign Elijah? For me, no, I don't think so. A lot of people worried about this sort of thing as well. How I look at it as well, and obviously, I know you're the same on this, Dad. When he went to Stoke, he didn't actually try and get any of our players at all.
I don't think he did. No, I think he might have went for players that we was after, knowing that they were on the list or whatever. But he didn't. I don't think so. No, and if he does, we know we'll get a good deal for it. But I can't see it. There might even be a certain clause where he can't go for any players for a year or something. That's what I'd be looking to do.
Yeah.
But I doubt it, because that'd be properly taking the piss. And then, you just be like, see you later. If it all goes wrong, you wouldn't want him back at your club, would you? I mean,
no.
That's what happened to us before when we was in Championship. We had to, owners come in, they sold everyone, run off with the money and all that. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No,
Not anyway. His potential. He's a good player. You know what I mean? You know. I mean, on my FIFA game before,
your FIFA games are madness.
I actually sold James to Southampton for 5.
And this was way before, by the way, people. This was like,
yeah, like, you know, so anything's possible. But whatever it is, we'll get half decent money for it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's what it is. But he's not going to come in and go, right, I want you. It's just not going to work. That, I mean, they've already got a squad of players. He's got to work out. You know, Firmino might go there and go, well, what I've got here already pretty much is decent enough. Do you know what I'm saying? I do feel that he will get rid of certain players 100%. I can see Walcott, people that are not 100, because we know the way he likes to play. You've got to be fighting for that ball. I don't care if you're an attacking player. You're not going to get out of the club.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's
like you see it a lot with Elijah. You know, you saw it on Saturday actually. I recorded it in the first half when he headed the ball away. You've seen him doing that a lot. His defensive work.
Yeah.
You know, they all do. All the attackers do. But you know, you see Elijah do it the most when he clears it away. You know, when they have
the thing is as well,
the front post.
The Southampton fans ain't going to want it. They don't want him there.
No.
Most of them, right? That's what it seems like. But they're gonna. I'm sure if they give him a chance, then they'll end up liking him.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's that's not going to happen. It's not going to just. I'm going to go right. I'll have Elijah. I'll have Morris. You know. Do you think they're just going to, you know? Oh yeah, see you later, boys. We're all going to go. Do you know what I mean? You know that looks bad on your CV if you just jump ship at clubs and things like that as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So no, I can't see it. Not straight away. Yeah, it's going to be potential. Yeah, and obviously it makes sense. You know, why wouldn't you go for someone like it? It just makes sense, doesn't it? But you know, who's to say we get a manager? You know, say we did, it's not our policy, but we got the Plymouth manager, and then we was like, right, we'll have your top striker, we'll have your goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? It just works like that sometimes. So he's not going to be looking to just leave us in the mud.
Exactly. That's yeah. Exactly.
And like I said, we might have a clause where you go, right, no, you're not allowed to do that for at least a year or whatever. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We don't know the ins and outs. But the club are not that stupid to just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. Lewis saying about Potts, a big part of the team, hope he's back tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Since he's had that role, you know, that role in the left centre back, he's been brilliant. You know, whether he'll be back tomorrow, not sure. Never say never, but I don't know. I don't. Me personally, I don't know what your thoughts are on it, Dad. But I don't think it will be as bad as what it seems like. But I don't know if it would be tomorrow. Do you reckon it might be tomorrow? Obviously, we'll get into lineups later. But
what's this?
If Potts will be back,
I don't think so. No,
I'm the same. Unfortunately, but player ratings for Potts. Fletcher's gone 8, 7.5. Lewis has gone with, and then obviously everyone was telling me Lockie is the captain. Big up to them. So yeah, man. Let's move on to the next player, which is Lockyer, that we're going to move on to. Brilliant performance from him. My man of the match. I'm going to put it out there. Tom Blockier. You know what the people were calling him. And yeah, man, his interview was sick. It was a proper, you know, usually I think Luton only show a few minutes on YouTube, if I'm correct. This one, they showed most of it. And if you can hear that over in the background, apologies. I don't know why Mum's doing it now when I told her I was streaming. But there we go. Brilliant performance from him. You know, you got to remember he was the only centre back on the pitch, you know, as well, and he put in that shift. You know, brilliant from him. Absolutely brilliant from him. My man of the match. As for a rating, do I give him the double figures, or do I go with a little bit lower? I'm gonna go with I just think the reason why I might say double figures is just due to the fact, you know, he was the only, you know, centre back on at the time, you know, and we had to shift and change, and he just put in a really good performance yet again, you know. I'll go with a 9.5.
No, mate.
Or shall I go to 10? I don't know.
You can go with it. Well, I'm going for straight 10. Right.
Okay, do you know what? I'm going 10 then.
It's the best performance I've seen. He's just been building up and building up and building up to this. Right. Yeah, the only centre back, he was given the captain's armband as well. Right. Don't forget where he was when we played Newport. Yeah, he even scored in that game.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
You know, he was
and he
like,
was worried whether he was going to get another opportunity.
Yeah, and it's since then he's just grown and grown and grown, and he was magnificent in that game. He's a proper Luton player. From back in the day when we had Chris Coyne, Kevin Nichols, that kind of mentality. Yeah, he's definitely got that, and he's outshining. It's just unbelievable performance, unreal. And he's a big part of the players respect him. He's always fighting. Doesn't, do you know what I mean? It was the best performance I've seen from him. I'll give him a straight 10, 100%. And out of all of this is a positive thing to take. Do you know what I'm saying? Nathan Jones obviously bigged him up, said he should be in the Wales squad. Obviously, but I don't know. The Wales manager is former Watford employee, so I just don't think he's been in the squad before. Like, it'd be mad not to take him, in my opinion. Especially, Guy's performance, he deserves it. He's a good defender. He's showing that he's got a lot of ability. He's still the right age. He's peaking his career. A brilliant performance. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Terry's gone. Tom Block here. He said 10. No, absolutely. And then obviously Jackie's got 9.5. Shay says, to be fair, 9.5 still double figures to you. Know what I mean? You know what I mean, mate. I loved his interview. Yeah, it's brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, man. And, you can tell also, just quickly before we move on to the next play, you can tell it's a massive, win in the sense where a lot of players were, the Luton YouTube was just on job. They don't usually post as many videos as they do in one. Usually I post a Nathan Jones interview, the highlights at 1 a.m. Don't know why to do that. And then obviously a player interview the next day, quite early in the morning. So, yeah, man. You can tell that as well with that. Moving on to the next player. So obviously we've done all of the, the back five, you could say, if you count Ethan. We'll move on to Pelly Ruddock. Again, a really good performance from him, putting a really good shift. Done some good passing, won the ball pretty well at times. Good performance from him. Yet again, 8.5.
Yeah, best midfielder for me. Just carried on from where the last game. Bringing that extra team spirit. This is what I'm trying to say as well. That is not going to disappear. Players like Pelly at the club, Berry at the club, Lockyer now. Still Bradley, still Pot. That they're backbones of everything. They're the go-to players. Yeah.
Exactly.
Considering he's only just come back, you'd think he's playing magnificently well. Yeah, you can't say no, he hasn't, because he has. Do you know what I mean? It's like he got injured before, and I think he rushed back and he wasn't quite the same. But this time, he's had that time. He's come back. He's fitter. He's stronger. He's hungrier, and he's showing. I've got that ability. He's hungry, and he's
exactly.
He was a big catalyst in that performance. I'm giving him a 9, mate.
That's fair enough. Let's see what everyone else has said. Pelly 8.5. Jackie's gone with, and then same as Terry, he's also gone with 8.5. Moving on to the next player. We'll go over Alan Campbell. Alan Campbell, again, got stuck in. I remember a couple of times in the first half he was near us. He was like, "Go on, Campbell." Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, this is how it is. It's close to us. And yeah, man, impressed with his performance. But again, I agree with you. Pelly did stand out. And it's not that obviously Campbell's been bad or anything. It's just Pelly's just been, different level. He's been showing that he is that guy, basically. He got a lot of criticism from fans previously. And like you said, he's worked on what he's needed to, and you
It's
can
an easy
tell.
target. My personal opinion is just an easy target because he's come with us all the way from the conference. It's like, well, everyone else from them days is gone, so he ain't that guy, and he is that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, Campbell was still decent. Very, very good performance from him. Still battling. We know we're going to get from him, but he was a big part of that. I'll give him an 8.5.
I'm going to agree. Jackie and Lewis, I've gone with a 9 for Campbell, which is fair enough as well, of course. And then Shay said some mad rating, 6.69 rare tear. Okay, then. But moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Clark. Jordan Clark. Again, decent performance from him. I thought at times when he was getting past them, done really well. Obviously, last season when we played Blackpool away, he had a really good game then. He obviously scored and got an assist that game as well. Obviously, he set up Elijah, and obviously he scored as well. Can't remember who assisted him, but it was on the third goal. Again, really good performance from him. Really impressed with him yet again. And like I said, I think he was the one. I think Berry was in front out of that 4. It was sort of a diamond, but I think he was the one there, and he done well there. So yeah, man, Clark. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give him a 9.
Yeah, I think he was decent. He was always looking to go forward, looking to get on the ball, put in a couple of good tackles. Just again, in there for the cause, part for the whole team effort. I'm going to give him 8.5 as well.
Fair enough. Comments, what are people saying? Jackie's gone 9. Terry's gone 8.5. Lewis has gone 9. Big up Spencer in the chat as well. Says, hey, T, Dazzy, Lewis, Shay, and everyone else. So big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. So yeah, that is that. Moving on to the next player, the last one. Luke Berry obviously got the goal. That got, again, his interview was brilliant. I only managed to actually watch it earlier, but it was brilliant. He's just a G. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I've said it previous times. Obviously, last season I was proven wrong. I didn't think he was good enough for the championship. I'll be honest, but he did prove me wrong in the games where he scored vital goals. And then obviously you saw at times when he did get that injury how affected we was in midfield, especially going forward and getting the goals at times. So yeah, man, brilliant performance in the right place at the right time. And yeah, man, just linked up really well with other players, especially Elijah, I felt at times. So yeah, man, good performance from him. He's close to getting man of the match from me. Like, there's a lot of people, but he's probably, him or Ethan's probably my second candidate if you want to do it like that. So yeah, man, I'm going to give Berry a 9.
Yeah, exactly the same. It was a typical Berry finish, like getting on the ball. He loves getting into the box. He's like really, really good at it. And everyone was so pleased when he scored that, you see when he scored, like, come run it, pellet.
Yeah, his celebration and everyone, all the players as well. Yeah,
part of that club, make no doubt about that. He loves the fans and that as well. He's hungry. He's still the right age. He did have a broken leg, I remember.
Yeah,
right.
Man.
So, give him some credit, and that we've been missing that guy that can just run into the box. He already showed it in the previous game. He won it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And now the first time he's had that opportunity in this game, he puts it away. Right. I rate him. He's good on the ball as well. Underestimated, I think, of his ability on the ball. And I just want him to do well at Luton as well. Do you know what I mean? I think he deserves it. And yeah, he played a massive part in that game. He out-turned that with that goal. He turned it around. I'll give him a 9 as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. People have said Luke Berry 9. Jackie's gone with. Terry's gone 9 as well, and Lewis has gone 9. Oh, I can't speak. 9.5, which is obviously very understandable as well. So yeah, and then moving on to the front two, obviously, we'll start off with, who should we start off with? We'll start off with Elijah. Again, played really well, worked well, like I said, especially with players like Berry. Again, I was impressed with his performance. And the thing with Elijah at the moment, he's been very unlucky at times. You know, he's put in that effort, he's put in that shift. He's just sometimes been unlucky in that final third. Yeah, especially since he managed to start scoring again. Thought he's been quite unlucky after that. So with Elijah, I'm going to go over 8.5.
Yeah, I'll go over the same. I thought some of his runs and he was battling, you know, the way we kept like winning the ball sometimes when he looked like he's going to lose it, and just the battling from him was really, really good. You know, he's playing where, you know, even if he doesn't score, he's giving the opposition loads of problems. Do you know what I mean? And that's, and the goals will just come. You know, 8.5. Instantly, like, he's one of the players that I do worry about. Like, obviously, like you're saying that he might go, it's not that for me. It's like, I think Nathan Jones has really mentored him quite a lot, and he could be one of the players that it could have a big effect on. But the fact that Morris is there now to help him, you know, other players there to guide him. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, 8.5.
Yeah. Absolutely. Lewis, I said Lewis is 9.5 for Berry, didn't I? Jackie's gone with a 9 for Elijah. Lewis has gone with an 8. And then Terry says Elijah 9 led the line well. Exactly. He did 100%. Moving on to the next player, Colton Morris. He was unlucky, like we said in the reaction, you know, that we did at, you know, start talk about this game. You know, obviously I had a couple of his shots on the vlog. Obviously, he nearly made it 2. Well, twice he nearly made it 2, like big chances. Obviously, the save by the keeper on the block. Was it save or a block? I can't even remember the one. And then obviously that one where it nearly floated into the top corner. That was close. Was causing threats. That's for sure. Especially when we were going forward. You know, he done well. He was majority on that left hand side, especially in the second half, and he done really well there. Again, another 8.5 for me.
Yeah, I was going to, but, you know, thinking, he should have maybe had them chances, but I do feel he was just a bit unlucky, really. He was
exactly.
Chances, you know, another one, it really affected play. Obviously, he didn't stand, for me, like the whole team stood out more. Sometimes it's just he's the standout kind of player, but I still give him an 8.5, definitely. And if he scored as well, then he would have got higher, but, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Jackie says Morris 9. He was unlucky not to score. Exactly. 8.5. Morris unlucky not to score. Everyone's saying that, and it's true. Jackie also says they all deserve 100%. I really, really enjoyed that game. Love our boys. Exactly. And you know what? Even made it even better. Like I said, Dad, our first ever away game together. You know, especially with Chris as well. Shout out Chris. And it was just brilliant.
Big up Chris for the
drive. Yeah, exactly. Big up to him for that. And the chant before, obviously on the vlog, that was brilliant as well. A couple of people messaged me and said they like that when you two were chanting. But yeah, man. Terry says Morris 8.5 linked up well with Elijah. Yeah, exactly. Got him to the end of stuff well. He's just unlucky not to score, like we said. But moving to players that come on. Obviously, we have got to do the early one, which is obviously Cornick in the 20th minute. Better from Cornick. Better from Cornick for me, especially with what the last 2 games have been like. It's just, I felt he tried to do a bit too much at times in the last 2 games. This game, he done well. You know, he done well. He linked up well. I don't actually know where he played when he come on. Because I heard that apparently Clark went a bit more defensive as the wing back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Cornick, you know, wherever he played, it's not his main position. So I give him a lot of credit considering how he played there as well. I'm going to give Cornick, I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. Like, he was similar to Elijah when he was getting forward. You know, he was confident. This is what I like. They'll try and win the ball and it'll ricochet off of someone, but they still run with that momentum. Do you know what I mean? Like, and still win it back. And he was doing that a lot. It was definitely a good performance for him. And again, he was involved. Maybe not as much as, you know, but he was probably out of position and switched in playing on the outside. But he was still decent and still was part of that magnificent performance. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie says Harry did well. I thought 8.5. Yeah, he did. Compared to the last 2 performances, 100%. And then obviously the last two, we'll do these two together. We'll just say both the names at the same time. Freeman and Jerome. Jerome, again, I'd say put in his experience that we expect him to put in that shift. And I did feel he did do that against when we played Sunderland, for example. I thought he'd done all right when he come on in that game as well. Freeman, again, I thought he put in a decent shift. Obviously, for him at the moment, there's been times where he has tried to do a little bit too much, but I feel it was better from him in this game.
Yeah, he didn't try that. He wasn't trying to, do that. He was, trying to play the key passes, etc., rather than, do you know what I mean? Because we knew we had a fight around, we couldn't, sort of make a sloppy pass, etc. So yeah.
Yeah. Rating. I'm gonna go. I'm thinking 6.5 for both because they did come on in the 75th minute.
I'll give them a bit more than that. I'll give them both a 7 at least, because they were still part of that. It wasn't like they come on and he was like,
and that's where it got mad, didn't it? Like the game proper was like,
and I remember at the end as well, like Jerome just grabbed hold of Berry, and you know what I mean. It was like, yes, do you know what I mean? And
I saw that. Yeah,
he likes being at the club as well. We might even put him on in some capacity. Who knows? Because obviously he has affected them strikers. I do believe that, and he has stepped up. So it all depends what he wants to do, but I'll give him both 7.
Yeah, a few more about Cornick as well. Lewis says Harry 8.5. I love how he always runs all over the place and does not stop. Yeah, I'll big him up for that.
Yeah,
big him up for that 100%. Terry says Harry 8 took players on exactly. Jerome Freeman 7.5 says Jackie, and then Terry's gone 7 for Freeman and Jerome. So yeah, man, that is the player ratings. Obviously, your man of match Lockyer as well, wasn't it? Yep, there you go, Lockyer. Obviously, both given 10, and high ratings. Obviously, the lowest I gave was 6.5. Obviously, the lowest you gave was 7. And man, just a proper away performance, like we said. Brilliant first game to witness together, and hopefully many more to come. Do you know what I mean? And shout out Chris again for being there and the journey. Taking us there and back to witness that. But any final thoughts or things you want to say on Blackpool before we move on?
Just look back on that and with everything that's happening now, and know what we're capable of doing. Regardless, it's still, we've done it before. Those that know, when Jones left us before, we just stepped it up. Know that that's still there. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But let's move on. So obviously we're playing tomorrow night. Again, they've done it late and said it's going to be on the red button, so I will be doing a watch long. Obviously, I unfortunately can't attend this one. But yeah, man, I like I said, it is going to be a bit of a different game. With obviously what's been floating around in our team and etc. But let's not talk about us too much anymore, because obviously we've done that for a while. Let's talk a bit about Stoke. Obviously, they are obviously, well, I know their last game they obviously played Birmingham at home. Lost that game 2-1. Obviously, Birmingham, for me, are the most improved side in the Championship, I'd say, this season, especially with where they've usually been. Obviously, league table, obviously, we sit in 8th, like my dad said earlier on near the start of the stream. If we win this game, potentially, depending on other results, could be in them playoffs. As for Stoke, obviously, they sit 19th, 22nd. If they won, depending mainly on the Cardiff and Sunderland results, and obviously what everyone else does, the highest they could go, basically, what I'm trying to say is they could go 13th, but it depends on the other results. I don't think everyone's playing this midweek. There's only a few teams from where I had a look earlier. Obviously, I will do my Championship predictions later. But that is that. Obviously, like I said, it is going to be a bit of a different game, a bit of a weird game. But how are you feeling overall going into this regarding all this stuff?
Well, initially I was feeling pretty confident. I kind of still am. But you know, anything could happen now. That's the problem, because we don't know how it's properly affected. It's going to be an emotional game, regardless. That's the problem. So, but you know, the team we've got, even with the injuries, still do believe that we're capable of beating them. They've got a poor run. We've got, you know, a really good away record, as we know. We're currently in form away. They've only won like 1 in the last 6 at home, which was against Sheffield United. But you know, let's not look too much into that. You know, Sheffield United, I don't know, they're a bit of a weird team for me at the moment. I still don't know how they beat Burnley, to be honest. But they obviously played poor in that game, I would have thought. I just think we're capable of beating them, and I would have been thinking, you know, before the saga, that we'd probably be beating them like a couple of goals to nil. But I still think we're capable of beating them, but it just all depends how we turn up, and it's going to be one of them. It's hard to predict it. It's a mad circumstance, especially considering the fact that that's the club that he last left to go to.
It's weird how it's
going again
around like this.
and to another team, and it's just who plays in a similar kit, and it's just weird all round. What it is that's life. Still quite confident though.
I'm fairly confident, and it's, you know, it's the reasoning, you know, you said on their form, you know, and this was the team we tend to struggle against previously, you know, ever since the Nathan Jones come back, really, and maybe even before then, but I can't quite remember. I remember we just couldn't beat them. I remember both games last season. Well, sorry, the first game at Luton we lost. I remember I went to it. It's a shocking performance. I remember it's just one of them 1-0s you lose, and you didn't look like scoring. You know, it's one of them. I remember it. And then obviously the away game, the home game for them, we won 2-1. I think it was 2-0 up for most of the game, if I remember, and then they got a late-ish goal. And yeah, ever since then, you know, the voodoo or whatever you want to call it is gone in that sense. But this one, you know, that's why I'm a little bit more confident, you know. But yeah, still with the stuff that's going on, it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, Jackie says, I'm praying it won't affect us too much. I hope we come out fighting. Yeah, exactly. And she also says, and I hope the away fans get behind the boys. I'm sure they will. Especially the ones that do travel, which I know quite a few that are going. So big up to them. Travelling on a midweek to Stoke, which obviously not as far as somewhere like Blackpool and others, but still, you know, it's still quite far to travel during a midweek. So big up to everyone that does go. Wish I could have, of course. But yeah, that is that. What I'm going to start doing is something that I haven't really done. I think I might have done it a few times, but injury news. Stoke apparently have no players injured whatsoever, which is pretty interesting. As for us, as we know, obviously Bradley, Burke, Lansbury, and Shea and Woodrow, but obviously Shea's, as we know, is very long term. And obviously Woodrow, it will be after the World Cup as well. And then questionable, I'm not even going to mention one of the names. And then it says Fred as well is questionable. So, yeah, interesting there. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what we do defensively. Will we go with another? I don't know. It's interesting because obviously Potts as well. You know, he's not actually on that thing for some reason. He should be on at least on the questionable one. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. What we're going to do, you know. I would probably still go with how we played the other day, especially if it being away from home. Just trying to figure out how I would do it, which we'll get into now. So yeah, there's that. Let me just get it. T, do the Sue, please. Sue. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna go with what we played the other day. Not what we played the other day. Sorry, I'm gonna go with this formation, but just act like the things. Oh, actually, no. Hold up. I swear there's a diamond one on here. Give me a sec. Just got to figure out what one it is. Yeah, I think like that. Actually, yeah, that's the one. That's the one I want. So obviously Ethan in goal. Straightforward, as we know. Where is he? There he is. Right back. Let's go with. Just trying to think. Obviously, Bradley's out. Osho is back for this game as well. Let's remember that as well. So we have got someone returning. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Bree on the right. I'm going to go as the centre backs. I'm going to go with Osho. I'm going to put him straight back in. And I'm going to go with Lockyer, of course. On that. And then the left back, obviously, I'm going to go with Bell. What's happened here? Oh, there we go. There he is. And then like a CDM sort of, I will go with. Who will I go with? And this is where I'd love to put Lansbury if he is available. I'm thinking between Campbell and Ruddock. I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to go Campbell. I'm going to go Campbell, sort of in that CDM sort of role. And then the midfield, the other midfield, I'm going to go with Ruddock, of course. Got to keep him in, especially how he's been. Ruddock and probably will go Clark. Again. Jordan Clark there, and then the cam, you've got to go Berry for me, especially if how he played the other day. Obviously, got the winning goal. There he is, and then up top, yeah, I'll probably go with the same as the other day. To be honest, probably go with the same the other day, and that is obviously Morris and Elijah. So, yeah, there's my lineup that I would go with. He still ain't got a picture, which is very annoying. Dad, your lineup, would you agree on that, or would you make any changes?
I think there probably will be that, and I can see Campbell being just in front of that. Kind of, we don't normally play like that at the back, so we need someone in front of him. I mean, there's other players that could play there. Ruddock and Berry can both play in that position as well. I can't see us going really. Potentially, we could go for the, three sort of centre backs with, Bree, Lockyer, and Osho, and then have Bell on the left, and maybe Doughty or Clark on the right. But I just think because it worked, then we'll probably go with that again. And yeah, it's just. You just don't know, do you?
No.
We don't like. Is Nathan Jones? Some people saying like it shouldn't be there. Like it's going to be weird. Like he might not be on the touchline. They've said they give him permission after the Stoke, but they always said they could cheer on the team. We have to constantly see what the exact wording was, because there's been no interview. Obviously, I get that. Is he going to be on the touchline? I'm pretty sure he probably will be, and he will be picking the squad. But yeah, I'd be going with that. That's what we went with. It worked. Might be some rotation, you know what I mean? I know Morris and Adebayo are both on one card away from missing the game and but I just think that we're going to go all out to try and get this positive result if Jones is going, and he ain't really going to care if they get a yellow card because he won't be there. The next game that he's going to be a manager of, he's going to be at fucking Anfield, mate.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, as you lot know, obviously I follow Liverpool, my other team. It's just gonna be weird to see him like against one of my sides. It's gonna be like, what's going on here?
He's going to be shaking hands with Klopp, mate.
So, I know. It's just to picture that is like, what is going on here? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
He deserves it. At the end of the day,
he does. He does.
And if he does turn them down, then, mate, that you've got 100% give him respect from then on. Even if
100%,
someone else comes in, a bigger team comes in a year's time, and he goes, you've got to give him props for doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's possible, but for me, it is unlikely because they're too much of a draw. You know, if it was like, I don't know, you know, Bournemouth or, you know, someone who's struggling a little bit more, who feels that, you know, all it is he wanted to do that with Luton, and that's the only thing that would be stopping him. You know, because if he did get us up, that's a bigger achievement than stopping Southampton getting relegated. Do you know what I mean? But then he might not get this opportunity again. It's a lot for him to think about, you know. But he obviously wants to talk to him anyway. And why wouldn't you? You know.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I expect the show to be back.
Yeah, a lot of people were going with a lot of people in the chat. Big up everyone, of course. Some people were saying Cornick, maybe Cam, and then obviously maybe Clark right back.
Yeah, I mean, we've changed it up a few times. We had kind of three up front, haven't we? We've had Morris, Adebayo, and Doughty. So I don't know. I would go with this because it worked, and it's kind of
exactly the only change is obviously Osho, but that's obviously because we haven't got Pops.
Yeah,
otherwise, I'd have went with him and Lockyer.
He'll be looking to redeem. He'll be looking to redeem himself, and
exactly.
I rate
the thing.
Yeah, I can understand why he got annoyed at that game. Yeah, it was stupid and that, but you know, he'll learn from that. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
When he was out on loan when we first got him, and you know, he was like, is he good enough? And then few performances, I think he could even play against did he play against Chelsea as well? But
I think he did. I think he did play against Chelsea in the FA Cup. Yeah, I think he did actually.
You know, he's got good ability on it. He just needs to be a bit more switched on with his back passes. That anything worries me, but he's a confident guy, you know. We have to start him. Potts ain't going to be ready, I don't think.
No.
And it's very, you know, whoever the new manager is coming in, they could potentially come in and go, right, lock you up, you're the captain from now on.
True.
Or, you know, Bradley and Potts, obviously, because they've been through the journey with Nathan Jones, but the new person that comes in, he's not going to really look at it like that necessarily. It's going to be an emotional one, mate, because we all know.
It is, man. I'm doing a watch long, that's the thing as well. Match reaction I'll be doing after. I'm not sure if anyone else will at this moment in time, but
the odds at the moment were ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? It's like 20
exactly.
to it's just 20 to 1 on.
Yeah.
You know, and from past experience, especially with the Stoke job, the bookies ain't wrong when it comes to things like that. It's just a matter of talking. I mean, a lot of people are questioning why don't we just go and talk to them now? We'll just have Chris Cohen or whatever. But then again, that is because of what I'm saying, isn't it? Because if they're not going to be there either, it's kind of will make the situation worse because they'll be like, right, well, yeah, all right, you go and talk to Nathan. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. If we lose today, you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. It's one of them situations that you can't control. Or you can
exactly
trust that them players will still play for the club. You know, the Berry there, Ruddock, Lockyer, they're still going to be concentrating on Luton Town.
Exactly.
Some might have their half an eye on, you know what, potentially, like if I do all right, I could end up playing in the Premier League, like under Nathan Jones. You know what I mean? Them players, get rid of them. I don't want that.
No, exactly.
100%
Focus on us.
game.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And that's all I can say. They probably will end up playing in the Premier League anyway. But half of that team that's up there now will, they'll be there for the cause. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big transitional period. We just have to make sure we get the right person in, and I'm 100% sure we will this time. We will learn from the thing. As soon as we had the opportunity to get rid of Graham Jones, we did.
Yeah,
we did sack him, but obviously we would have went up to him and said, "Look, it ain't working out." Mick has obviously said, "Look, come on, man, it ain't working out. He's not got this rapport with the club. He's not Luton through and through. Yeah, he's not showing it. He keeps saying it. I think that Nathan's out there. He ain't got another job. Let's do it. Forgive, forget, and if he's going about it the right way, all these people saying he was a snake. Do you know what I mean? We just or when the Barcelona job comes along, that's what most managers do. They move onwards and fucking upwards if they can.
Exactly.
Would you say we'll keep him? We don't own him. Facts of life.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people moaning. I see them moan. Oh, why do you make them substitutions? Well, now you ain't got to moan about that, have you?
Yeah, exactly. But let's go through what some people reckon on their lineup. Shasha's gone Cornick, Cam, Berry's centre mid, Clark bench. Terry's got Bell, Lockyer, Bree, Clark back 4. So obviously he's gone with Clark in that right back. Midfield, he's gone Campbell, Berry, and Pelly. Flipping hell, tongue twister. Say that when you're drunk. Up front, he's gone Cornick, Elijah, and Morris. He's gone with a 3 by the sounds of that. Unless you've gone Cornick behind, maybe. Is that what you mean? Apparently, he's saying as well the 5 booking ban does not count after Blackpool game. Apparently, so
right.
Huge if true. Do you know what I mean? We have got Southampton fan in here, so big up yourself. He says hello from Southampton.
Yeah, big up. What's your opinion on?
He said a little bit here. He said this. He said slightly underwhelmed by this appointment. No offense to all you at Luton, but saw he was linked with Brighton the other month.
He's been linked with Brighton. He's been linked with Bournemouth. He is a good young manager. He's not a big name to the Premier League clubs and that, but there's plenty of managers who have gone from Championship or whatever up to then achieve that status. Brendan Rodgers, Potter. Do you know what I mean? There's others that have done it. Do you know what I mean? Wild have done it. He's a good manager. He will get the thing is, the players have to buy into it. If they've got ego, then that's the problem. That's a problem. That's a lot of Premier League clubs or ex-Premier League clubs. That's why he failed at Stoke. They didn't believe in his philosophy. They didn't like him. And that's all it is. That's all it is. You're going to be underwhelmed. It's your Premier League club. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I understand it. Yeah. Exactly.
They're all looking. Oh, we need to be getting Pochettino or big names, and it doesn't mean anything. You want someone who can do the job. That's it. You need to give people a chance. We'd never.
Yeah, and I've seen some Southampton fans say that.
When we recruited him, we'd never heard of him. It was like, all right, he's what was he? A coach at Brighton. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
It was like 40 or 41 or something. We never heard of him. It was like, all right. And then we had him talking, started listening to him, thinking, do you know what, this guy's he talks sense, he's passionate, he can talk the talk. All right, we'll see if he can walk the walk. And he did consistently. And with what we've still got players that played in League 2, League 1. and he's got them playing at a championship level, and it's not a fluke because we've gone up every single season. Do you know what I mean? So he's obviously good at his job.
Yeah.
He needs to, and he wants to prove it, and this is his chance to prove it. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, but you have to give him the time. You can't be expecting to beat Liverpool as soon as he comes in. You can't be, you know, you're at the moment. You just need to survive relegation and build from that, and give him the opportunity. You ain't going to suddenly rise up the table. It's got a bit it went a bit stale under your last manager. But the thing is, Southampton, I think if you've still got the same owners that you had when you recruited the last manager, that they'll give him the chance anyway. They're not going to be sacking him.
Exactly. 9-0 defeats as well.
We'll be talking with them. You know what I mean? It'd be like, if I fail to keep him up, am I going? If they say to him, he won't go, he'll stay at Luton. Yeah, he'll want to be given that chance, which he wasn't given at Stoke. I think that'd be a real sticking point for him. So if Southampton give him what he wants, guaranteed that they won't sack him on a whim. They give him a set amount of time. They'll expect to get relegated. They might go, right, if you get relegated and you don't get promoted in the first season, then maybe, you know, it all depends on that. Because he'll think, well, I've already got it good here. He's already got money.
Yeah.
So that'll be the sticking point. And if they can't give him what he needs, it's not just about money, guarantees, then he won't go. And that's the positive we got, because that could still happen. But I wouldn't. Yeah, you're going to be underwhelmed. That's natural. If Luton were established in the Premier League for a few years, and I know you went down for a while, but you're back up there, and we recruited someone that we didn't really know about, and that we'd be questioning it as well. It's just
100%.
No offense to it, we know how good a manager he is for this club. He was been linked with Brighton because they know him. These certain clubs have that structure, and I think Southampton is trying to get into that same mould of the, Brentford, Brighton, and looking at that, they're not spending massive amount of money. They're recruiting. Ivan Toney played for Peterborough. Do you know what I mean? And they're doing the right thing. So
no. So I'm just trying to put my phone in charge as well. It's about to die out here. It's peak.
A bit not for coming into the chat though.
Yeah, man. Big up. It's a trending topic, so I did expect a lot of people to tune in. But big up everyone that has. And he also says, "Is he the real deal?" He's asking a question.
You have to give him a chance, though. You can't. That's the thing. Stoke didn't. They just turned quickly. There was a lot.
That was their problem.
Look, have they done better with the money since then? I think
exactly
2 or 3 managers, and they're no better off than they was when he was there. Absolutely no better off. But we are, and they've still got loads more money in that. You won't be spending as much money as certain Premier League clubs, but you'll be spending more money than we'll be spending, and he'll be able to do that. He'll get his recruitment team in. He'll get his sports scientists in with him. He trusts his staff. The players just got to believe in him, and if they don't, he'll get rid of them. If Southampton give him that power, then he will be the real deal. If you don't give him that power, then I just think it's a waste of time going there. Do you know what I mean? And that's what he's got at Luton to a certain extent. You have to give him that. And I believe that they will give him that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have just gone for him. He's their number one target.
Yeah, so exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. He said number one priority.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you look at it properly on, Premier League teams, most of them won't tend to look at what's going on at Luton or whatever. They won't. They think, they're doing all right. Yeah, maybe something. It's luck. But then on the next season, they got in the playoffs. It's still luck. It's not. It's definitely not. He's the real deal. He just needs that chance.
Yeah. No, exactly. And obviously, Hanno saying to him, "Welcome to the channel." No, absolutely, mate. Big up yourself for tuning in, coming along. Big up Stephen. He says, "Big up Ty and Daz. Been quiet listening." Big up yourself, mate.
It's a lot to take in, mate. It's a lot to take in, but
exactly.
I've been in this club for a long time. Seen managers come and go. We don't want them to. And I was there last time when he went, and you know, that was all a madness, but we still went, you know, and won the league that season because with the foundations were there. This is what I'm saying. This was, you know, with someone that's Big Mick Harford. He just took the reins, you know, carry on doing what you're doing. Well, you know, obviously he's ill at the moment, so that's not going to happen. But other staff than that, they're still there. Obviously, I'm not expecting us to get promoted now, but we're not going to slide down the table. We're not, you know, it's not going to work like that. We're not going to suddenly sell all our best players in January because the club won't allow that.
Yeah, exactly.
And certain players will still buy into, no, I want to still be here. So it's not going to be like that. We will just recruit. I've had, you know, I don't know, who would you take in? Would you take Gerrard? Would you give him that?
You know me, I'd love that. Obviously, I know, you know, at Aston Villa, it didn't really work out, but I think that's a bit different. You know, what their expectations were, and I think it was a bit for Gerrard early on in his managerial career. I think that was a bit of a push. Personally, I did say that when the move was actually made as well.
Yeah,
I think Liverpool Championship, not Liverpool, sorry. I think Luton Championship. You know, I think he should have a go in the Championship. You know.
Well,
you already know me, Dad. Of course,
Lampard done it. I mean, I know he ain't doing that great at thingy, but you know he's still got his job at the moment. I do think there's more. I think the players have started because he will say what he wants. Do you know what I mean? And some players, well, I don't give a shit what you think, you Scouser and that. That's clearly what happened. You can see that he brought Coutinho in, started off well with Coutinho. Something's definitely weren't right there, and now all of a sudden they start playing well. Do you know what I mean? It's clear that they didn't, you know, give him that chance, and they didn't like the way he was.
Just quickly, like I said on the Prem review the other day, I think that Fulham game, obviously the game where he did get sacked, I think that showed it where, you know, the players losing their heads, headbutting players like Douglas Luiz did, and that moment, that just shows that you don't really. It's already going bad, and you're just making it even worse.
Yeah,
it weren't yourself. You know,
it weren't a great fit. Whereas I think that Luton would be a good fit for him. We'll see. You know, he was the one who, you know, when he was at Rangers, he done well. And he can't be, but it's Rangers and it's in Scotland and that. Still a big job.
Celtic was still the dominant ones, you know.
Yeah. You know, and he had the QPR manager as his assistant there.
Exactly, yeah.
But, you know, he's got good contacts in the football world. For me, it'd be worth a punt. I see another one, Jody Morris, been banding about. Obviously, ex-Chelsea player. I remember him. Again, he was manager of like the under-21s or the under-18s and that, where they were winning FA Cups and winning the Youth Cup, smacking up the leagues and that. Then he was assistant to Lampard at Derby when they got all the way to the playoff final. Yeah, they didn't win it. But then the Lampard went to Chelsea. He went with him. He was his assistant manager at Chelsea. They finished fourth that season. You know, he's obviously he's a tough cookie. Yeah, he's had his scrapes in the past and that from back in the day when he was a bit younger and that. But he's another feisty character that could be a good fit. You know, I'm not hearing all this. Oh, let's get Dyche in. Let's get Wilder in. Let's get you know, these certain set ways of playing, dragging you up the table or whatever. I'm not into that. I want someone who's young, ambitious, and you know, and has got a little bit of a track record. And that's what we've done before. You know, Nathan Jones, he was obviously everyone was like, he's a brilliant coach at that level. Like, you should give him a chance as manager. We tried the same with Graham Jones. Graham Jones ain't of that ilk. Otherwise, he'd already be, you know, and I think that's probably affected his career to a certain extent because he was a proper flop with us. It weren't, you know, he obviously he's well respected. He was brought into the England setup as well, and also he was assistant to who's the Belgium manager when they finished runners up or got to the World Cup final or Euros or whatever. Yeah, mate, but Martinez, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So he's obviously a good coach, and they do respect him. But as a manager, he's not that guy. Clearly, and sometimes you have to drop down to go up. Lampard's done it. You know, Rooney done it. You know,
I was going to say that's another name I was going to say.
It all depends if Gerrard wants to do that challenge. I think he could do it challenge. It ain't like he's desperate for money. We'll see. I don't think we're going to rush it, but it could also be that Chris Cohen becomes our manager. Nathan Jones leaves him alone, doesn't take him away with him or whatever, until the end of the season.
Yeah.
We don't know, but I'm pretty sure that they'll be looking. They're not going to, you know. And
like you said, the benefit we've got as well is the World Cups coming up. So we've got
exactly. And if we win our next 2 games, which is still entirely possible, with or without Nathan Jones, right? We'll be in the playoffs by that time that happens, and we could go right. We've got a whole month now to look for someone and say, look, this is where we are. This is the structure of the club. Got this nice stadium coming. It's a lot further on than it was when Nathan Jones was first recruited. Like, still an attractive proposition, and it is happening. And people still better get used to it. I know some people quietly liking it, like Watford fans and that. But you know, come on, mate, your manager will be gone by Christmas probably. Or
yeah, exactly. Talk to me about managers when we know how you lot know.
It won't derail us. You know, it's just a bump in the road. That's all it is. We're still on the right trajectory. So I'm not even that phased by it. In all honesty, because I know the club, and I know the owners, and I know, you know, the fan base and everything is still there. It's not going to turn hostile overnight. Learn, you know, that from the dark days of the conference that some people seem to forget.
Facts.
Yeah. So just keep it strong, and that's it. And if it doesn't work out for him at Southampton, you know, is what it is.
Yeah.
Some people will have him back again. I don't know. I think you got to kind of move on at some point, and you know. But you know, don't rule that out in the future. You know, he fits the club all the time. You know, he knows the club, and you know, how many times did Mourinho go back to Chelsea?
True.
Flit around the Premier League. I'll manage Tottenham. I'll manage United. I'll just go back to Chelsea. You know, it happens. You know.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And, you know, if he leaves on amicable terms this time and with respect and this, that, and the other, they'll say to him. I remember leaving a job once, and they were like, "Look, if you ever want to come back here, like, just give us a call." Do you know what I mean? Like, it happens. You know, it's just common sense as well. You know, he works at the club. You know how it is. So why would you just completely rule out? Fuck you! You ain't come back here. You go to Southampton. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't work like that. You know, the way Watford are going, they will end up lapping their fucking managers. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many that they'll be, and they've done it. They've recruited managers that they're before. You know, so it happens. Let's just roll with the punches, and I'm quite excited really, because it's a test for us. I love us being tested because it brings out the character of the whole club. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
When he went before, everyone was really devastated. Like, and we went, oh well, let's win the league.
I know, yeah.
And other teams will underestimate us now, going, they ain't going to be nowhere to Nathan Jones or anything. You know? And don't be surprised if that ain't the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there'll be people at the club now saying to the players, look, we'll wait, trust the process, don't worry, we've already got something, you know. And who knows, it might be someone who's linked with some of the players that are already there that they know, and you know. But for me, these certain players, we can go that little bit higher now with people who've got contacts in the game, and sometimes you just have to give people a chance. We've done it. Gerrard to get instant respect at the club. I think obviously some of the eyes is scout. I don't buy into that. We've got scouts in me anyway, so I don't give a shit. All right.
Exactly.
I'd be happy with that. I think you deserve a chance. Do you know what I mean? But it's it's up to him, innit, whether he could do that challenge or if he thinks he's above that. I don't think he's that type of guy, really.
No, I don't. Even when he played with Liverpool against Luton, he respected him.
Remember that time he didn't even celebrate when he scored a banger when they beat us.
Yeah.
Three, he scored an excellent goal. But then, he wanted to fight in that game when Matey Boy scored from the halfway line. He was like, "Why didn't you pass it?" And then when he went, "Oh, all right," and then at the end he was like, "Yeah," he knew what he was about, and that he'll remember that game. And that's the last time we were decent in the Championship, and we're basically the same now. So who knows, man? It's a funny old game, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the weirdness of this most likely being Nathan Jones' last game against Stoke. He left before for Stoke.
Yeah.
There's things. It's mad. It's a mad world.
Some of us might think, I mean, he's got an agent, right? And they might, and the way the Southampton manager was talking, like he knew he'd be gone, like maybe even before that game, but definitely after that game, he knew he was gone, right? So you don't know that them in contact with Nathan. He's gone behind, privately. Has said to the players, "Look, I'm going to be talking to him. Let's make this performance, fight for this game." You just don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just end it on a high.
Yeah, let's see. Like, I don't know when I'm going to talk to him, but I am going to talk to him. Let's give this to the fans, because he wasn't his usual fist pumping self sort of thing. The players were more like that, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe I'm reading too much into that. But yeah, it's been a long one. It's been an extra special edition. But it has to be, we give you what you need.
Breaking news today, it's only right, isn't it?
We'll talk about it properly and just enjoy the game tomorrow. Don't be like, even if we got slapped, remember it's exceptional circumstances.
Exactly.
And we go again on Saturday, and by then we'll be much more in the clear of who's standing in front and what's going on, and etc. etc. Yeah. But part of me is thinking that if he is going to go, if he's talking to him, you just kind of want him to go now rather than go, "Oh no, I'm coming back," because it's like, yeah, but you wanted to go, but they didn't. You know what I mean? So it makes it a bit awkward now. But whatever the situation, I'm sure if they don't offer him what he wants or the terms he wants, and he comes back, then he's still under contract. He's still our manager. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, it happens. But we've already got a short list. Let's hope some good candidates are on it, and obviously other ones will come up. You know what I mean? Gerrard might be muted to be on there now. They might. All you got to do is try. If you don't know, you don't get. You know what I mean? A lot of people go, no. He's got no. He's got more experience than Graham Jones. I'd rather take him than Graham Jones.
Fact.
I'd rather take him than Rob Edwards.
Agree.
There's certain managers, do you know what I mean? Because he's he has got a short experience in the Premier League, but he's played at that high elite level. Yeah, he's managed Rangers. He's turned them around. He got them all. You know what I mean? He
got them into the dominant team in Celtic.
It does make a difference. It does make a difference. So don't be deluded by it. Doesn't. You know what I mean? And would you be happier that we recruited someone from League Two rather than someone who's got that clout and contacts and things like that? Do you know what I mean? Fits the club.
It does.
So, yeah, that's it. I'm going to end it like that. That's all I've got to say. Score prediction.
Yeah, I was going to say score predictions. I'll let you go first on this one. I've thought about it briefly, but not a lot. So I'll let you go about this one first.
It could be anything. I'm just going to go.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm going to go gut instinct. I'm going to say 1-1 draw.
Fair enough. That's understandable.
Who knows? I think it is going to affect us.
Yeah, 100%. My score prediction. How do I see this one going? So obviously last season we lost 1-0 at home, like I said. Beat them at their ground. Obviously it's first time playing them this season, of course. their form does give me confidence, but then again, obviously the news, the saga that's going around, I'm going to back us. I do think it'll be a tight one, of course. Either way, even if Nathan was still in, I'd have said a tight one. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go exactly what I said at Blackpool. I'm going to go with another 2-1. Go with another 2-1 to the town. And before we go on to scores, goal scorers, we'll go through some comments. Spencer says, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to smash the subscribe button. Yeah, please do if you haven't already. Big up everyone that's been in. And Stevie G, obviously being a Liverpool fan, knows about him, of course. Jackie says, we have to stay positive. We don't know what will happen. Sorry, we could still go up. You never know. Exactly, you never know. It will. We'll see. We'll see. Predictions. Spencer's gone 3-1 Hatters. That would be very good. That'd be very nice. Carl's gone 2-1 Luton, same as me. Joke City, Terry. It's gone Joke City 1, Luton 2 as well. Elijah and Cornick. Right. Let's get on to our goal scorers, Dad. So you've gone 1-1. So who's scoring the goal for us?
Morris.
For me, I'm going to go Morris and... Lockyer. Lockyer from a set piece. Whoosh! That's what I reckon. That is what I reckon. But, that is that. So we've obviously gone 1-1. I've gone with 2-1. Obviously, I will be doing a watch along to it tomorrow. I say it's going to be an emotional ride, I'm sure. So, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to be, but just be prepared for anything. Do you know what I mean? And then, obviously, I'll be doing a match reaction after the game as well. And, anything else you want to say about anything, Dad, before we wrap up?
No, yeah, so I'll probably be in that chat as well. Watch it with you, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Like you usually do. Yeah.
See, engage what's going on, and it's going to be a mad game. Yeah. Just look forward to it. It's a roller coaster with Luton Town. We know that. We love it.
Exactly. That's why we support our club. Do you know what I mean? That's why we follow him. But yeah, big up everyone that's been on the stream. I think it's the first ever time the Hatter Show, well, straight away anyway, has got over 100 views. So big up everyone, man. The like count so far has ended up on 16 likes. So big up yourselves for that. I know people watch on playback as well. So big up. And the good thing is the stream has been over 2 hours. So it automatically go up once I've ended, or pretty much straight away, because that's what 2-hour streams do. And yeah, man, big up to the Southampton fan, Matt, I believe it was. Don't want to get your name wrong. Yeah, it's Matt. Big up to yourself. And like Stephen says here, like we said, going to be an emotional one. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. But yeah, a couple new subs as well during the stream. So big up. We gained 2 new subscribers during the stream as well. So big up yourselves. Obviously, I know Matt was one of them. Whoever the other one was, big up yourself as well. And don't forget to smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Also, I'll be releasing my championship predictions very shortly. I'm just going to do a bit of research, look into the games. League Cup, I'm just going to leave it. The championship, I'll do, because obviously I know a bit more about it, considering I watch it. And yeah, man. Don't forget to smash a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share the channel. Turn on notification bell so you never miss an upload or a scheduled stream. If you want to follow me across any of my socials, 2 of them are up there. You know what I mean? Can never point in the right direction straight away, but there we go. And if you want to follow me, obviously on my other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. Obviously, link to that is in the description. I know Hanno is posting stuff on it soon, so keep your eye out on that. Not too sure what it is myself, so we'll see what goes on. But yeah, last lot of comments before we go. Spencer says, take care, T, Dazzy, Hanno, Stephen, Shay, and everyone else. Absolutely. Let's go through this together tomorrow. Exactly. And obviously, the ones that are going, do enjoy it and make the most of it. Make the most of it. Because, that'd be a game I'd love to go to. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I take going to Luton games for granted. Do you know what I mean? So, to the ones that do go, make the most of it. And, man. And everyone's just saying, take care. Yeah, man. But yeah, take care, Daz. Hanno, Spence, big up, take care, and yourself, mate. And yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow. Like I said, keep an eye out on the community post for my championship predictions, because I will do them a bit later on. But yeah, big up yourselves. Stay safe. Take care. Up the town. Peace.